Hey, welcome back. As I promised, I will try to. You okay, Sass Sass? Do you want some pets? I'm gonna go pet my cat real quick. Oh, come here. Oh, I'll give you some affection. Hi, baby girl. What's wrong? Are you hungry? I think you're hungry. I think you're hungry. Let's give you food. Where's your cat? There you go. Food. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I've been really reflective on something that I think is very common, um, which is with prices rising, with things getting so expensive. I was talking with my best friend about it because Gen Z gets a lot of hate. We get a lot of hate because we are told that, well, if you just stop spending money in that Starbucks coffee, then you'll save enough money. And this is a reflection on those kind of comments because I don't think you guys, I think Gen Z's hate and trying to hate above a generation is not okay. One, for many reasons, but two, that is not the case, really honestly at all. And to assume every Gen Z or anybody in life is lazy and that's why they are struggling day by day. I grew up with a mom that had that same struggle. And when I was a kid, I thought, oh, it's so easy to make it, like it is. I thought it was generally easy to make money and stay to a budget. But that mentality, staying in that, is not realistic right now because I can speak from experience. I can speak from experience that most Gen Zs, or I would say even just people now, you have these awesome, I want to say creative people. Maybe they're working to go to college to become a doctor, and it's good to work hard, especially when you have something that you're pursuing. So imagine to get to there, you have to burn yourself out. By the time you burn yourself out, you don't have that hope and that passion anymore. Anybody right now that is not making, I want to say 20 or even 30, they're struggling. Why? Because one, everything, like I said, economy wise is going up. And I'm gonna be I'm a little political here and just say, like, wherever you fall on taxes and inflation and the new no tax on tips, none of that is not, it's only gonna help people that are higher up. And I'm also not going to stereotype everybody that has more money than somebody else because I've seen so many stories of like the underdog. I'm trying to think of some good people. Adam Sandler, Daz Games. He's a YouTuber that I love. But those are the people, people that I would say, like, one, don't flaunt their money, but two, just generally good people. And John Keynes is like a good example of this, that gives so much back because they know how draining it is to the person's soul, emotionally, to live in the economy we do now. So before you make any of those harsh comments, I want you to kind of keep in mind, one, housing is still going up. And most people cannot afford almost a $1,000 to even $2,000 rent. Not on a 20 minimum. Things like, well, they're cutting Medicaid and cutting SNAP and all that. So now imagine when they cut that, now they have to pay for all their stuff, which is very, very hard. Eventually, if they can't pay for their own medical bills, the hospital will, and eventually the hospitals may close up in rural areas, which is not good. But also, imagine I'm gonna like use a mix of my mom and my experience, but just generally think, okay, let's say you do, I'm gonna like realistically, if I lived with, well, I currently live with like I live with somebody, right? Now, this this kind of does affect relationships too, because when you are telling people, well, you buying a Starbucks coffee this is not Starbucks, this is just a random coffee mug. Let's say I'm a random person, I'm sipping this coffee and I'm just saying, wow, I just fuck up my rent. Now, what I mean by that is that it's not fair to discount any Gen Zs or anybody in general. I would argue that Gen Zs and most people of this generation have all the social awareness, they have that passion, they are just so fucking creatively incredible. Now, don't get me started when you have to go to college, since once again they put a minimum on the college. You go into debt for years. This is something I'm very familiar with. When I was generally growing up, my mom wanted a better life for all of us. Well, she was working at Wesco, and on top of being backed up on rent and being on, it snaps now, but when I was growing up, it was on a food card. Even with all that, she was still behind. So when she was behind, but she wanted to further herself better and go to college. Well, she ended up going to college, but then she had to quit because we came first, and my biological father got sick, and she did not feel safe to have us at the house alone with him, but also she wanted just to be there. Okay, she's in fucking debt. She's in debt. Now, anybody that wants to become a doctor, a law person, at a certain time in life, you could have done that and then achieved that, went through school, got that job, paid off everything to get to that point. But that's not possible now, because why it's not possible is because now Gen Zs are literally working, they're working every day to just live paycheck by paycheck and to keep that struggle going. So they have no money for retirement or for extra savings, and it's not their fault. It's not anybody's fault right now if they want to do escape, and if they want to do something that escapes, or even if they're stressed, or even if other scenarios come up, because I'm even saying, like, part of why things I do in my life, I want to help, and I want to bring comfort so people don't have to worry about that. I think my neighbors are outside. I want to help. I want to make that world better for a lot of people. So I told myself, if, like, say if I made, that's partly why I've done my OnlyFans or OF. I did it first just to feel better, but then I was like, no, if I have a lot of money out of that process, I want to give it to fucking food banks and homeless shelters. Point is, I don't want any of it, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit with the excuse that the world is awful and shitty and it can't get better. Because I think the word better doesn't mean like completely bulldozing over everything that somebody is doing. It's just helping the people that bring creative and wonderful resources to the world. Whatever you believe, it's good to have people that know how to check contaminated water. You can still do your factory work while helping the clean energies, because they do create tons of jobs. Like, there's a way to blend it in, and I wanted to do that. And even somebody as myself that is paycheck, it's hard, because there's times I'd sit here and I'm generally I'm kind of scared because what if something does happen to me? I have nothing to fall back on. And I do this for 5 years, if somebody does this for 5 years and people with degrees and everything are still living with roommates because they're in debt. And then I don't ever think it's okay to blame the generation. Talk to the actual corporate people that should be paying somebody $20, even $30 so they can make a living and they be happy about it and be excited about life, because you're getting overworked to the point where you lose that spark and you lose that positivity. And I'm definitely going through phases of it, and it's hard to want to get back up, and it's hard to want to do anything with all you feel like you're doing is failing. And all you feel like you're doing is just failing. And if you really have big dreams and nobody can see it, and you just feel like a tiny person in this world that is powerless and can't do anything to get out of your situation, that destroys somebody's soul over time. And it's very hard to get back up. So I want anybody out there that gets hate for maybe you buy something to make yourself feel better. Maybe if it's even just you're feeling worthless because you're not able to provide a safe net for you, and people are being very hard on you. They're saying, just get a job, just get out there, work all day. This video is for you to say they don't know your struggle, and they're probably lacking generational awareness in that that's not the system we live in now. Now it's maybe back in a time frame when you were girl, you could live off 20 and start your life and still have the enjoyment. But this doesn't even include if you have kids, if you have pets, if you have many, many other things. And it's pretty fucking overwhelming when you're just trying to survive and then you have somebody down your throat going into a mindset of you're just being lazy and you're just not spending right. Right now, many Gen Zs or 20-year-olds don't even have the freedom to spend a little bit. And it's a real fucking struggle, okay? So if anybody ever makes you feel bad for that, know that they are struggling. Maybe that they don't understand where you're coming from, and that is not on you. That is just sadly some awareness people lack. But if you are a working person in this economy, don't diminish that, okay? It's okay to be burnt out. It is okay to feel the weight of trying to make a good life, in your own definition, to try to make a good life. So keep that kind of negative out of your head, at least like the person saying it, and surround yourself with people that are also struggling right now so you can have somebody to talk to and vent about all this. And just know that they don't know what you're going through. They really don't know what you are going through. And I want you to keep trying. Think of all the underdog stories, even though it sounds really cool in movies and stories, but in real life, it's not as glamorous and it's not as easy, it's not as fun. So I'm going to we're going to have a hug session. And I'm going to tell you, you got this. And I am here. And then you find somebody that you know can be here. And please hang in there. We can work, all of us understand this. Any Gen Zs out there, I want you to just hold hands, because we all know the struggle right now, that kind of stuff. Hope you have a good day. Goodbye.